Good morning, afternoon, evening. I'm not sure when you're watching this, but hopefully you are. In this episode, I take that 1968 Camaro all the way up through Alabama, Georgia, and back. That's 1,000 miles there and 1,000 miles back. I did a lot of filming on the way up there, so I'm going to break this up into two episodes, on the way up there and on the way back. I learned a lot about this car on the way. Actually, I haven't figured out how to turn off the AC in this car. And yes, I know how to turn off a switch from on to off. It's not that, the switch wasn't working. And then I figured out a little bit of a trick to get it done. Then halfway through it, the switch starts working. So maybe problem solved. Also, there were lots of cars I was passing, hot rods and trailers being pulled and stuff like that. And I couldn't figure out why at first. And then I remembered, hey, it's cruising the coast down in the Gulf of Mexico. And that's what all the cars I was passing. So I got some pictures of that and I'll fill it inside the video. Also, I got pelted by rain. All the way up there, it seems like, and almost all the way back. So this car is dirty. It's been abused, per se. You can see it's all of 2,000 miles on this car. Lots of bugs. I am going to have to clean this thing up, and it's going to be a chore to do so. I'm not looking forward to it. But a little bit about this car. So, we've looked at this car before, but just kind of briefly. This car, pretty nice interior in it. You're not going to do any road courses in it because you'll slide right off of those seats. But I've got a 5-speed Tremec transmission in there. Dakota digital gauges, nice little radio. It's comfortable in here. It's not that bad. It's got cold AC too. Salt flat wheels from American Racing. It's got coilovers all the way around it. And 4-link 373 9-inch rear end. Texas tank. Holds about 16, 17 gallons. I'm not sure which. And a Texas Speed LS3 595 horsepower motor pushes this thing down the road. Like I said, cold AC, it's got power steering, it's got Hydro Boost brakes on it. So it gets the job done. Now, did it get me down the road all the way back without any issues and all its own power? Watch and find out. Cue the banjo. I pulled over to get some fuel. This thing's getting about 15, maybe less miles to gallon. So we're going to probably have to make lots of stops. I figured out how to turn off the AC, and that is to have the car running with the AC on, put the selector switch on the AC off, turn off the car, start the car again, and the AC remains off. I'm sure that was in the owner's manual somewhere, right? probably not. Anyway, I've retrofitted these controls, this vintage air system, to the original controls in the car, which probably aren't working the best, and I'll probably put a panel in and make that so it's a vintage air unit inside there. I've been riding around with the windows down. It's been pretty nice, 73 degrees. If this was a 67, even better, because I had vent windows and I get all the air blowing inside here. And by the way, whatever happened to vent windows? One of the greatest inventions known to man. I know that there's the wheel and fire and such, but that's got to be ranked up there pretty high up there, right? If it's a security reasons, like people were breaking into the vent windows and such, we put a man on the moon, for goodness sakes. We would probably figure out a way to secure vent windows. Other things, it hasn't been much to show you. It's been so foggy on this trip so far. Actually, I've had maybe at some points only 100 feet worth of visibility, so it hasn't been worth filming whatsoever. Just keep on going, and it's still pretty overcast and pretty foggy. We're going to keep on going. We'll do some filming along the way and to see what we get. Well, I made it. I actually made it in yesterday about 5 o'clock, but I was so dang on tired. I just crawled out of the car, crawled up here, crawled into a sofa and crashed until my host got in. So, car, it's down there. Excuse me, man. Morning.
Morning.
Hey there, puppy. And neighbors and such. So anyway, car's down there. It's fine, but it's raining ever since. Supposed to go to a golf game this morning at 8 o'clock, and it just didn't happen. The skies are like crap. So I'm gonna find some things to do, maybe hit a museum or so, make some pics of that. Yeah, like I said, park's closed. This should have told you up front. So how's this go again, Philip?
So this is the Jewel Collins Smith Museum. She's a Houston resident for most of her life. She and her husband Albert were married for, I believe, 70 years. How long they were married for? Maybe 65. She passed away. But they met here at Auburn, and he finished. He got sent off to the Navy for World War II, came back, finished here in '49, and took a job. She was not done. She had one more year of school left, but she chose to get married and go with him off to his career in Pittsburgh. They end up in Houston. Starts a power company. He sells it to Dow Chemical. And for their 50th wedding anniversary in '99, he wanted to give her a gift, so he gave funding to start this museum in Auburn. It's one of the few art museums in the state of Alabama. She was a big patron of all the museums in Houston, Metropolitan Art Museum, all that stuff. And so she said, well, hey, if I'm going to have a building on campus named after me, I have to have a college degree from there. So they pack up and move in '99 for a summer. The university says, hey, we looked at your transcripts and you only need 6 hours to finish. So she takes 6 hours. He cooks and cleans, he said. You know, he cooked and cleaned in the apartment while she went to school, gets her degree, and then they open the museum here. And so when I would be at fundraisers for Auburn in Houston, they would always introduce him as Albert Smith, class of 1949, Jewel Collins Smith, class of '99, and she would joke that she was his trophy wife because her degree was 50 years after his. So great couple, fantastic spending time with them. Unfortunately, they both passed away here in the last 5 or 6 years, but great couple, loved Houston, loved Auburn.
'68. Yeah. Took me years to build. Black. Well, this is an awesome creation. I love it.
I got the original 1968 Schwinn Pee-wee bike with motor on it.
So what's that out of?
That's
What's the motor from?
it's a bicycle motor.
What's that?
It's that right there is just, that's a bicycle motor. You can actually order them.
You can order them.
Yeah, that one is.
Okay.
But look on Amazon, dude.
All right.
That's a 2-stroke. There's 4-stroke. That's pull start and electric start. I got 4 or 5 magnetic pedal started.
Okay.
That's my first. That's my baby. My first one used push button.
That's awesome.
Thank
well,
you.
Well, that's cool.
It's probably only got about $600 in it.
That's not bad.
That's a $200 bike. That's a $400 motor. But you can get a motor for $100, but it's not got electric start and all that.
So the two-stroke motor, how many horsepower is it cranking out?
125 cc, but it's illegal as hell. So it's just 49. If anybody asks, they can't tell the difference.
Right. Yeah,
So
sure.
49 cc, no tag, no insurance, no license, you're good on the highway as long as you got a tail light.
That's right. That's the same way in Texas. If it's under 50 cc.
You can ride it on the highway as long as you got a tail light and a helmet here.
Okay. And that's fine.
But I got one.
And I've got a
That thing will go 68 mile an hour.
yeah. I have a 125 on back of my cart, one of my race carts.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting with my fat ass on it 66 miles an hour in that cart. For sure.
I got upgrades. I'm waiting on a muffler. I got one that's gonna come out the back. I just put disc brakes on it. I ain't even finished them. I mean, I built this weekend.
Yeah. So I made it. Pretty much. I'm pulling my dad's neighborhood now. Once I got past Atlanta, it was not a big deal. The skies cleared up, and quite honestly, the roads were dry, and it was okay. I rolled down the windows and cruised. My dad said he left the back door open with the garage open as well, and that presents another obstacle in the form of two black labs. One of them wants to lick you to death. The other one wants to eat you, and I can't tell them apart. Maybe I'll just sleep in the garage. So full disclosure, I didn't drive 10 hours to Auburn to give a speech. I drove 13 hours to Georgia to get this elk soup. It's awesome.
John, show them where the corn chips are.
I know where the corn chips are. They're in the pantry right there, right? Yeah.
Corn chip down there and cheese in here.
Yep.
Not very much.
Oh, I don't eat cheese.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't eat cheese anyway. No, not really. Not much.
Well, I think the last one, there's some chicken right there. I think, yeah, fried cook.
Oh, really? I'll have to, yeah, I'll eat
Or
that.
you brought that on.
No, I didn't bring that. If I did, that's like a year old.
There's turkey right there.
That's from last Thanksgiving.
There's a brand new turkey right there and a brand new ham right there. This is good.
I brought that salad from Subway last night. I stopped off.
Okay.
You making yourself a sandwich?
No, you're going to eat beef cheese.
No.
I usually eat jalapenos and wrap them up in some turkey, but I don't have any jalapenos today.
Do you want me to go get your salad?
I have a salad in there. I brought it from
Where'd you
Subway.
get that?
Subway, I stopped off last night. Stopped about 45
Oh my God,
minutes.
he buys at Subway.
Well, when you're on the road, where can you go?
I don't know, we don't buy at Subway.
Oh, well.
Because they don't serve tuna. They found out it was.
Well, the bread is so sugar in it that's in Europe it's listed as cake.
And you know what they did? Look at that
Yeah.
from that.
Right?
I tried that. Do you know what else it said? They said that the tuna that they put in the sandwich is lower quality than they put in cat food.
I believe
Do you
that.
believe that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah. I don't
If I'd
think that's
if I'd known you were going to do that, I would have put something really fancy there for you. A bowl and a plate and some chips. And,
Yeah, why not?
yeah, really done it up right.
Make him do it again. Get out of plate.
Of course I could do it again.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, I could do everything again.
Let me do it.
Okay.